are watching The Horizon, the voice of the Amba woman, exclusively on ABC Amba TV.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Welcome to The Horizon, the voice of the Amba woman. Let me start by apologizing for the late start, but we have a brief program for you today, and we will continue sometime next week because we will not be able to cover everything today. I want to start always by extending my heartfelt and sincere gratitude to our ASA, Ambazonia State Army, who are resolute and who have consistently defended hometown, defended home front, defended our people, defended our territory. I also want to appreciate our friends and families that are in neighboring La République du Cameroon that are brave to continue supporting our cause, knowing that the final end, Boya, is where we belong. I send greetings to refugees that are in neighboring Nigeria, Ghana, and all over the world, that we appreciate you. And we know that you are refugees because of a war that was meted on us by Paul Biya of La République du Cameroon, influenced by France, of course, and we believe that victory is ours in the final analysis. Today on the program, we want to talk about recent activities of the past 2 weeks. On the 2nd of August, we laid to rest a matriarch, Mama Emma Endeley. And this past weekend, on the 9th of August, we laid to rest our Vice President, Mr. Eric Ateh. We want to just give some highlights of what happened during this past 2 weekends. And with me today on this program is one of our permanent guests, Mawini Lobati, who is going to be sharing with us her thoughts and also giving us some advice how we should proceed based on what has happened. Mawini, if you're available right now, I'd like you to say hello to everyone as we proceed with today's program. There you are. Welcome to the Horizon, Mawini. Welcome to the Voice of the Amba Woman.
Welcome. Thank you. I just want to appreciate you for inviting me today, but I also would just take this time to appreciate our viewers, because without them, we have no program, and the program will be, if you cook chop, people not there for chop am. Now only you chop am, the chop will soon sour for your mouth if it plenty. So I want to thank you, because without the viewers, we are able to continue the programs that we have on the Horizons and many other programs on ABC Amba TV. If I may, I don't know if our technician, I would prefer that our technician give me just the regular background for the Horizon, please. I appreciate that.
Well, if not possible, that's fine because of time. It's okay. We'll just proceed. But if they can do it, that would be great. Let's proceed. As we go through this journey, as we go through fighting for what is rightfully ours, a nation called Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, that we're hoping that it will be internationally recognized sooner than later. Some unplanned events have happened over the past few years. I mean, it's been 7-8 years running. We've lost so many along the way. We've lost people on the front line, ASA. We've lost family members, friends that are just running away from the tyrants, from all the barbaric activities. And we've lost people in the diaspora, prominent ones from natural causes. So I just wanted to say that at this point, how do you see these events and overall impact on the people of Amazonia before we go into specifics?
Anytime there's a loss, there's grief, and there is also not just the person's life that is lost, but also the impact that that person had in the community, or not only family, because many people will think about a loss of a father leaving behind a widow and young children, or a loss of a mother leaving behind children who are to, or family relatives that may have depended on that individual. But once there is a loss, there is an impact of something that has been taken away from you forcefully, or something that you cannot touch, you cannot feel, you cannot kind of relate with that person again intimately or closely, or have conversations with that person. So it creates some emptiness and vacuum. And I'm sure Amazonians are going through that. If we look at it, even from the perspective of the tens of thousands of lives that have perished over the 8 years that we've been in this struggle, many children have been widowed. Women, women have been widowed, children orphaned, and parents lost their young children, as well as even people losing their elderly grandparents prematurely because of the war. So that loss always carries an impact, a grief that many people who have walked through that know that it hurts. So we must acknowledge that there is pain. It is interesting because we are talking now about, you mentioned that we've lost some comrades in the diaspora. We've had this when we had Chairman Shea Francis, who passed, I think it was 2019 or 2020, somewhere around there. We
2020.
will not forget, yeah, 2020. We will not forget those people. When we go to Boya, their names will be there. Those who have fallen as fallen heroes back at home, we will also list them. But the loss is always really great, and the impact on people. Yes, we may move forward, we may do things and go ahead, but life is never the same again for anyone who has lost a loved one.
Thank you so much, Marawini. Yes, you're right. Grief is grief. We always remember the great things of all the people we've lost, and we forge ahead knowing that we have a reason to stay the cause. Let's be specific now. You mentioned about Chairman Shea, whose passing was 5 years ago, and I was present during his burial. And in fact, the president, Samuel Ekomisako, came to that occasion and did. I have a video of it, but it was so difficult to send. So since we're talking about our two major comrades now, maybe next time I will present that video. But the president was present, and they laid our flag on his casket, and then after that presented the flag and a medal to the spouse, and then we sang the national anthem. So that was the first time, and in 2020 that this happened. So this past 2 weeks ago, first with my Emma, and now with the vice president, we've gone through a similar situation. So I just wanted you to talk to us about these two giants in our struggle, what they stood for that's my Emma and the vice president, before we see some videos and some clips of what happened during their farewell ceremony. Can you hear me, Mawini?
I can hear you. I thought you were. I was waiting for a video clip.
Okay.
Is there a video?
You could
Is there a video
start
clip
saying
coming?
something though. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Let's start with. I like to start with Ma Emma. Ma Emma is a mother, and then I will go to VP Ateh in the order in which they departed. Ma Emma, God, what a woman! I am. She joined the struggle at some point when it was already rolling, but she came in rolling at the speed of which that the struggle was rolling. She was so committed when ABC was turned over to her as the director general. Mind you, Ma Emma has a background in journalism. Many people may not have known that, and she even worked in television in Nigeria. So many people did not know that. So she was just the right person to take ABC to the next level. And there were, in spite of challenges with ABC, I never saw her give up. She was such a dedicated and faith-filled woman about ABC and its challenges. She can present the challenges, but she did not look at challenges as things that cannot be overcome. But she looked at it as those things that we will overcome and we will get better and we will grow. She had a vision. She was a visionary. And she had a good crew that was working with her, including Director Paddy and all the staff in ABC, and then all the other maybe club members, patrons who work with her. They help her, and nothing kept her from stating the vision she had, and she really had some big visions, which some of them are still to be rolling out in the months and years ahead. So for that, she was such a great lady. Coming to VP Ateh Eric, wow, another giant. We will miss his voice, but thank God that we can once in a while go back and listen to recordings that he made to just remember how sweet his voice was and how rich that voice was. The good thing about it was not just the voice. The that was a let me put it, that was a gift that God gave him, that voice. But however, he used that voice for a good cause. There are many things I will not even say on this program that he initiated, walked behind, supporting the president, the government, to make sure that we were always going ahead. He was also a visionary. He could foresee and preempt problems. That was one thing about him. He could already see things that were coming and that were problems down the line, and then mitigate. Another word to use is mitigate those problems. And by doing so, we were miles ahead rather than getting stuck at one place because we had problems. He was that kind of a visionary, revolutionary leader of the time. And I will miss him. I'll miss him. And he was 100% behind ABC, making sure ABC stood firm and would go further.
This would be a perfect time to see some of those images. I don't know if our technician has ready. To see is to believe. And you're right about the vice president. He was a visionary. He came up with great ideas to forge our journey, and he will surely be missed.
Yes.
I am hoping that we can see those images now. And talking about Ma Emma, I just want to say this before it skips my mind. ABC Amba TV was her baby, right? That's the expression we use, her baby. In the sense that not that she gave birth to it, but she nurtured it. She nurtured it till her last breath. And in that regard, I want to say that my husband, Dr. Julius Abiedu, wanted me to say this now, that he's launched the Amba TV Legacy Fund, and that the goal is to raise $20,000 by the end of the year to make sure that ABC continues to thrive. So in that regards, we're going to give the details about that. But are any of those images ready? We've had some technical difficulties today, but let's just continue talking. Let me ask you another question. Hopefully, with time, we'll see the images. You know that just before I come up with my next question, we're talking about the first person who passed on here, and we celebrated him, late Chairman Francis Shea, when the president visited us with us here. There we go. So this is what the flag was being presented to the family, Emma's children, and we're told to put it on the next to her, just as a formality. And then there was supposed to be a video just as we sang the anthem. I don't know if that will come up, but I was saying that we had some technical difficulties. But I want to say this, that the three members of the government that have passed on since we started this. And when I say members of the government, I mean members of the government in the diaspora, the officials in the government. I begin with late Francis Shea, and then Emma Endeley, and then the vice president. We've had this formal proceedings where the staff is giving to the family member. Some medals are handed to the family members. And what do you say about that? What do you think about those national attributes being performed in such a public manner?
I think I love it. Before I even comment more on that, let me say something. Just to show you how the VP, Eric Ateh, was visionary. One day we were talking, he said, Ma Winnie, I'm also beginning to think of how we can have a procedure and formality for state burial. From nowhere, he said that as if he knew we were going to be doing his first. And he said, I'm thinking about that. If the president were to pass, or the vice president, or the speaker, or members of government, I'm thinking he was that visionary, thinking about everything from living all the way to the grave, that he wanted a procedure put in place. And he said, I'm thinking and I will work on that. Okay, now we will work on that, Mr. VP, where we have been working on what we did with Chairman Shea, Francis, and Ma Emma, and now it's come to you. I think we will perfect it so that when you turn and you are up there and you say, hey, let me take a peep and see what, if you can. Let me see what they are doing as the next person is coming up. And then you will be proud and say, we did make a procedure. I think I like this. It testifies of the fact that we are not just some people by the wayside that just are doing something, but we have what it takes with the limited resources. Even not being at the home front in Boya, we can still effect a state barrier to a level that even those who can watch on TV, ABC, for that matter, or on Facebook, social media, can see and know that, yes, this is Amazonia. This is the people of Amazonia. This is a warrior for Amazonia. This is a fighter of Amazonia. This is a statesman of Amazonia who dedicated his life and gave a lot for Amazonia. And here he is, and he's being laid to rest. And the family will also know that we appreciate that. Mind you, many of us who have chosen to walk this path of justice and seeking the restoration of our statehood may not be completely in sync with some of our family members. I mean, in the open, because some of them may not do it in the open, but they do it in the background.
Okay.
And they support in the background. So that is the time we honor the person, honor them, and let them know that we appreciated what they've done for the people of Amazonia, and their legacy will be in the annals, the archives of Amazonia.
Well spoken, well spoken. So it looks like the videos may be ready now. There was a message from the president, since he could not attend Maia's farewell ceremony. There was a message from the president which was read by yours truly during the wake ceremony. And I think the relevance of this is that in every community that we belong to, you find a handful of people that truly believe in our quest. You have others that are just neutral, and then you have a few that are totally against. But you also have people that do not know anything about it, and they learn for the first time. So I want to say that that video, that proceeding that took place, where I had to read the president's message to a crowd of people, some who know about Southern Cameroon, some who do not, was very important. So let's listen.
Endeley. So again, my name is Dr. Patience Abiedu, and I'm delivering this on behalf of Dr. Samuel Ikomi-Sako, President of Southern Cameroon's government in exile. Today we gather not only to mourn, but to celebrate the life of a remarkable mother, grandmother, and matriarch, Maia Endeley. She was more than a mother to her biological children. She was a mother to a nation. From the 13 counties of Southern Cameroon, in the dark prisons and dungeons of Cameroon, in the slums of refugee camps, in the studios of ABC Amba TV, and across the global diaspora of freedom warriors, her name was spoken with love, respect, and deep admiration. I remember her last words to me not long before her passing. Tata Nakove, don't worry, I will be all right. 6 days later, she left us, and yet I believe she was right. Today, she's truly all right. For where she is now, there is no more pain, no more sorrow, and no more worry. Mama ABC, Iya Emma, our hearts ache, but our spirits are lifted by the certainty that you are in a better place, standing among the giants of our struggle. Tell Molanjo Litumbe that we will not fail. Tell Tata Kinge Kuve Lukinye that we will not surrender. Tell Chief EML Endeley that we are determined to correct the historic error he spoke about. Rest in power, Mama, until we accomplish your dearest wish to free our beloved nation from the pangs of subjugation, annexation, and slavery, until we set our people free. Farewell, our mother. Farewell, our inspiration. your love, your courage, and your unwavering faith in the cause of freedom will remain our compass. Go well, Ma Iya Endeley. We will carry your torch until Southern Cameroon is free. Thank you so much.
So, Ma Winnie, you want to comment on that, the president's message?
I think the president hit the mark on Ma Emma, and of course, um, her passing was tied with health issues, and nobody knew that it was going to be just so short from when her diagnosis came about to when she passed. And when she was telling Tata Kuwe, say, "I don't worry about me, I'll be fine." She had faith, hope that everything was going to go fine. But God had another plan. God said, "My daughter, you've done well. It's time for you to come up and rest. I'll pass the baton." And sometimes we don't realize that the baton is being passed. And so we should be ready at all times, each one of us. I thank God that Iya Emma had actually put a strong foundation. I'm focusing now on her task as Director General of ABC. She had put a strong foundation that whatever we're doing now, we're building on that foundation and we are continuing so that her work and legacy remains and continues to grow. I'm sure we'll have the Iya Emma Endeley studio one day somewhere named after her, or a hall, or a conference hall, or even more than that. And the media part of our government, when we get on the ground, should have something that testify of the foundation that she laid as we continue.
Absolutely.
We are really, we are great. I'm grateful that I worked with her, got to know her. And my patience, just to show her the visionary work. Remember when we did Fanatism Rebuild? Outside of the Amazonia Circle. That was one of the connections that she put us through and that we could do. No telling how many more of such she would have done. And I know some are already coming down the pipeline to bring us to a place where we could tell our stories ourselves, and our stories are not being described by somebody who thinks they know us and knows our story and thinks that they have the emotion and the feeling and the anguish that is in our soul and the desire for freedom. She wanted us to put it out there and communicate it out as raw as we can put it so that the world can see us for who we are, what we stand for, and what we and the pain we bear, and the hope we have to get our statehood.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have some two more videos before we talk about the vice president that are important. The video when we did hand over the flag to the family of to the daughter of my Emma, daughter and son, and also we were able to say some words that were gave to us by the president, some state tributes, and then sang the anthem. So I would love for those for that video to be projected at this time, please.
Last breath. She was very hardworking, so there's a medal to honor her. This medal of honor is awarded posthumously to Maia
faith, and motherly strength that nurtured not only her family, but the Southern Cameroon's freedom family worldwide.
I'll have my brother read the certificate.
Members of the Endeley family, members of the younger family, members of the Manila family, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished sympathizers, it's with a heavy heart that I welcome you on this special occasion, on this solemn occasion, that of the departure of my dearly beloved sister. In every family, there are some people who get along very well. Emma Lobati Endeley was named after my mother, Emma Lobati Monana. So to me, this is very touching. And believe me, in fact, this is not an opportunity for me to go into any political panoply. But when two nations unite on the conception that one is called Southern Cameroon and the other is called La Republique de Cameroon, and all of a sudden they are all called La Republique de Cameroon, it therefore kind of implies that either one has colonized the other, annexed the other, or enslaved the other. I don't want to get into any political panoply. Time is of the essence.
Because of time, I'll just go ahead and read it.
This certificate right here is a print version of it. This certificate of honor signed by the leadership of the Cameroon, Southern Cameroon's government testifies.
Hail this land of glory, we the Amazonians pledge our loyalty. Praise on our Savior who granted us the freedom, allegiance to the heroes who fought the land with their blood. Glory, glory, rise and never to fall. Here in a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making us a nation and joy forevermore. Amazonia, land of freedom, we shall live in plenty with all our needs. And the children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Amazonia, land of freedom, we shall live in plenty, meeting all our needs. And the children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Ma Emma, please rest in peace. I think you were witnessing this and you were there, your spirit was there and you were seeing everything that was happening and you were being very, very proud of the nation you call Amazonia. Let's proceed. Mawini, I want to ask you another question. I just want to see you first before I ask. I'm not sure exactly if you're still on the console. There you are.
I am.
You know that at the point that we're singing the song, those who were standing there, I love the white and blue theme that the family had selected from the ongoing. So I just want you to comment on that, the color, and then anything else that happened after that.
I was amazed that the family took upon themselves to have the white and blue. Family of Ma Emma, thank you very much that you were able to pick this white and blue that symbolizes the nation of Amazonia. And you were beautifully it was incorporated in that funeral. We thank you for that. But there's one other thing that stands out was the freedom and this that let's put it this way, my Emma is free.
Mhm.
She is not tied. She is not at any grip that La République can do anything to her. La République du Cameroon. Let me not just call it La République because there are many La Républiques, but La République du Cameroon cannot touch her.
Mhm.
But you know what? She's left a mark that many of the people that are being used to torture and kill Amazonians will never be able to attain that
Right.
because she's left her mark on the earth for justice, for the undermined. And it was a beautiful ceremony, and
Yeah.
I'm really proud of all of you who were in attendance and could make that happen. And thank also the family for just cooperating so much and allowing this free flow. Because if we were in back in Boya, the state will actually have a strong protocol like VP Erigate wanted, and then the family will be carried along. But this one, the family was generous along enough to carry us along and honor that which she stood for and was fighting for.
Yeah, that's a good point you make. That's an excellent point. And the same thing happened when late Chairman Shea passed away. The family was willing to carry us along. And you are absolutely right that in Boya, when we have total control of our territory, we will be carrying the family along whenever there's an official state burial of this magnitude. Because of time, I just want us to see one final image where the casket of my Emma was draped with our Amazonian flag, and then we'll proceed to talk about the vice president. Um, because that was so symbolic. I was just not I was taken aback because I knew that we're giving the flag to the wife. I didn't know that they were going to, I mean, to the daughter. I didn't know that they were going to drape the coffin. And when that was done, my just had just I just felt so proud. I don't know if the image is available. Um, well, while they are getting that ready, let's talk about the vice president. The vice president, we've seen quite a few images on our fora so far, and during the wake, there was an occasion where they had traditional dances. I don't know if we have time to see that, and then after that we'll talk about the formalities at the graveyard. So I'm hoping that any of those images will appear now. First, the if you can first see the image showing how the casket of my Emma was covered with the Amazonian flag as we end the subject of my Emma, then we'll proceed to the vice president's wake. There we go. There we go. That speaks volume. You know, for me, this tells La Republic. I mean, I'll let you comment, Mawini. Comment on this image, please.
Um, we may have had a loss, but the loss does not define us. The procedures and the state barriers and the things that and the symbolic state emblems that are put and incorporated during the funeral define us
Mhm.
because those things tell who we are and what we stand for. The flag speaks the volume. This is a patriotic Amazonia. The appreciation of what the individual, Ma Emma or VP Ateh, did for the people of Amazonia is represented with the medal or the staff that is given to the family. Um, Oh my goodness, this is beautiful with a coach that carried. This was so, oh, this is so wonderful. I really, really look at this and I said, I don't know if we had gone to Boya and within 2, 3 years, state burial had to be done, we'll have a coach like this to carry the casket of a state person for burial. That was pretty and beautiful. Wow, that is honoring and makes me proud that in spite of the fact that their remains could not be carried home where they would have loved to rest, but the rest that they are having, the rest is done here. I can guarantee you the cemetery where they are laid to rest will be well taken care of. There will be flowers, there will be memorial days, there will be days to remember when they pass, and there will be children, grandchildren coming to see their grandmother, father. And guess what? Even though they were not able to be laid to rest back home, who knows if one day, who knows if one day they might decide and say, we will exhume and carry them back to where they desire to be laid to rest. That is not something we can rule out.
Yeah.
It will still be there.
Yeah.
And but for
Absolutely.
now, they have their rest and their peace.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely. We
yes.
have two more videos that we're going to talk. We're going to proceed now about the vice president. I was thankfully blessed to attend the ceremony, the farewell ceremony of our vice president. Um, uh, in my opinion, there were four prominent videos. Two of them we cannot show. One was at the funeral, at the wake keeping, which was a little bit contentious because our chairman Shea had to speak with violence. She spoke prominently and told the people what the vice president represented. So that will leave for another occasion. There was another video at church when during the service where the family friend spoke about the legacy of the vice president. That is too long to show at this point. So one day we may bring it back. But the two videos that I want to show, one is a traditional dance of the Akum Cultural Association honoring the vice president during the wake. And then the final video is what happened at the graveside. So if you can see that one first, because that one just lifted my spirit, the traditional dance, which we do back home whenever we lose loved ones, that will be something we can see at this time. And while waiting for it, Mawini, I just want to say that the hall was crowded. I heard from Mildred, who resides in Minnesota, that they've attended several wake keepings occasions at that hall. That was the first time that it was so filled up. And in fact, some people had nowhere to sit down. They had to bring some more extra chairs. And she was shocked beyond her core because it was filled to the core, to the very, very brims of the wall. I hope that we can see that video soon. And then we saw quite a few. And then one more thing, South Minnesota has a lot of Southern Amazonians. In the days of Sissoko, that was like a hub where he even spent time there, and there were a lot of people that were so passionate about our cause. They all came. They all came, and whether they are still with us or not, but at least there we go. No, that's not the video I was even talking about. But if that's what you have, if that's fine. The video I'm talking about is the one that is the Akum Cultural Association. that is where the vice president is from. That was such a powerful video. Well, I apologize. This is not really the video I wanted. It looks like it was not ready for them to produce, to show. So because of time, we will go to the video of the what happened at the burial site when we had our official proceedings to say farewell to our vice president. So we did follow a convoy, and that day was a rainy day. Luckily, it was not falling heavily, so you can get by getting a little bit wet. It was okay. Some of us had umbrellas, and some did not, but we were all fine, and everything proceeded well. So the official video where we did our state proceedings is what I'm looking for. When we had the flag, and then the chief of staff, Dr. Yaya, was present and read the president's message. So if that video is ready, that's what we want to see now.
But for 1 hour and 16 minutes, we spoke, and not once did he give me the slightest indication that it would be our final conversation. In his usual calm strength, he said, "Mr. President, add me back to all the forums. Let the comrades know I am back. Let them call me for duty, like before. I am getting better." He made his final rounds quietly, reaching out to all, to the House of Assembly, to the county chairs, to the Ambazonian people, giving them what we now know was a farewell. When we met in Washington last September, he told me plainly, "This may be my last encounter with my comrades. I just want them to see me strong, alive, and still loyal." Mr. President, you did not leave us empty. Mr. Vice President, you did not leave us empty-handed. You left us a standard to live up to. You left us a legacy of duty, dignity, and discipline. You asked to be remembered by what you did. You said your children and their generation should know that their father stood tall for their freedom. And so today, in the name of the people of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, I present to you, in your noble rest, the staff of the Republic, the Medal of Honor, and the flag of the nation you loved and served till your last breath. These are not symbols of pity, they are seals of pride. We pledge before God and history that we will not abandon the mission. We will honor your memory by pressing on until your final wish. the freedom of your people is fulfilled.
Praise the Son of Savior who granted us the freedom, allegiance to the hero who bore the land with their blood. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making it a nation, joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, we shall live for plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation.
They will rise and make sure that this dream of the free people is realized.
And now we shall present the Medal of Honor, and that will be done by Dr. Patience Abiedu, the Secretary of State for the Departments of Women's Services.
On behalf of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, on behalf of President Sako, I present this Medal of Honor to our brother and to you, our sister, for the amazing job he did till his dying day. We pledge in his honor to continue the work that still has to be done till the final end.
And now we shall have one of our strong comrades, you know her, and a family member, Ma Mildred, who is going to hand the certificate of honor, of state honor, to the family of our Vice President.
My dear friend, my sister Rose, we've been in this struggle for a long time. On behalf of the people of the Southern Cameroons and the President of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, President Samuel Ikome Sako, we present this certificate of state honor and excellence to you and the family on behalf of Vice President Ateh. He was dedicated down up to his last breath, working. He made us pledge that we'll continue this fight, and we will continue this fight until Amazonia is free. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all. Now we shall all bow in honor for the last time to this great hero before we take out the flag and fold it and hand it over to the family. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Goodbye.
We're done, right?
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
We'll do what we want to do. Then as soon as we're done, they can come back so we can lower his coffin to the grave. Please. Thank you for your understanding. So
this is the time. If you don't want to be in the video here, just step behind. Just step behind. And those of us who want to give our last respect, you can come around the casket.
Oh, I wanted to go that way around.
Okay.
Yeah, because I saw you taken, so I'll go to the other side.
Sure. Sure.
All the consoles Martha and Mary in their distress, draw near to us who mourn for Eric, and dry the tears of those who weep. We pray to the Lord.
Let's hear prayer.
You wept at the grave of Lazarus, your friend. Comfort us in our sorrow. We pray to the Lord.
Let's hear prayer.
All right, thank you so much. Ma Winnie, your comments on what you just witnessed or observed.
Again, I want to just thank the family for giving us that opportunity where all these state emblems, we honored VP Eric Ateh with those state emblems at his funeral and burial, and we're able to pass that on to the family. We thank you guys. We thank you, family. We thank you for allowing all this to go on. And it was solemn. It was beautifully done. It's almost like you guys did a rehearsal before you went out there. And God just did it beautifully in a way that was well put together. Let me make something here. While we are honoring him, I think there's a deeper message that it's going out there. Ambazonia is real.
Mm-hmm.
Ambazonia is here to stay. Whether France, whether La République du Cameroun, whether the international community thinks that it is going to be or not, it is here. It is a spirit that is in the people, and that cannot be, you cannot separate it.
Yeah.
Many people don't know. Even right from day one of, let me call it, so-called independence, this fight started.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Haijo, when people all were moving to Boya, and they had been called to rally in Boya, Haijo put his army to block people from going to Boya. But guess what? They may have blocked us, our comrades, from carrying their remains back home. But guess what? The spirit for which they stood, the spirit for justice, freedom that God gave us, cannot be stripped off by putting people in jails, refusing people from entering their land. It will all, you cannot quench that. It will continue. And the people will continuously state their case, stand firm till it is actualized in Boya. Thank you, VP Eric Ateh, for what you did to serve the nation. Thank you, the family, for according him that freedom to do it and to serve the people of Ambazonia well.
Ma Winnie, you make a very, very valid point. I mean, those of us who were present at the graveside, we saw a lot of people. And of course, there were a few of them there who would say, oh, they're probably thinking, oh, those people are crazy. You know how sometimes in life, somebody is doing something and you're there watching from the side and you think that you consider that thing crazy. And then years down the road, it turns out that that thing was not crazy. So there are a few people there that are watching and witness and say, oh, those people are stupid, they're crazy. And then there are a few people there were quite a few people there that were somehow lost on this journey, and they are coming back. The vice president has mobilized people, and that will be our topic on our next program. But we cannot just, because of time, we cannot talk about it now. We're going to talk about how the passing of Maema, and more particularly the passing of the vice president, their tombstone should be a stepping stone for us to jump higher and land on Boya. And that's what we'll talk about when we meet next time on the horizon next Friday. But because of time, we're going to be closing the program. We want to use this opportunity, I particularly, to appreciate the family of both Endeley and the family of the vice president for really giving us the opportunity to mourn for our leaders and to share them with us, and we share what we know about them with the whole world, because these videos, these images are there for posterity. Everybody sooner or later will come across it and say, oh, this Ambazonia thing is just nothing. It's something that will end up with the international recognition of a state that was deprived of statehood 60 plus years ago. I want you to make your closing remarks, and then I'm going to usher the video that I was talking about so that we end this program in style.
Thank you again once more, my patients, for having me here, and Ambazonian viewers. I just want to take this time to let us know that while we've had some great people pass on to eternity, I just want each one of us to remember that which they stood for did not go into the grave or did not die. It is alive, and if at all, it's been energized more for us. That's why some more people came. I could even recognize somebody there who was taking a video. I know him as a social media journalist. I think he's from Bafut. I may not remember his name, but I think he also made a video for Gojidinka, the famous Gojidinka long videos that are on YouTube. If you never watch it, go watch it. As an Ambazonian, then you will understand you will get some historical facts and background that has led to where we are today. I was happy to see that many people. I hope and pray that the burial site was a place where we all rallied to lay to rest a hero, a patriot, a warrior. But it should not be a place where after we are done, we all leave and go our separate ways. It should be a place that ignites that passion amongst each one of us to remember what we had in the beginning, what we stood for, and revive that flame. If it was flickering and almost diminishing, revive it and come back fully in the struggle. Present it. This was the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Let me put something here to rest. Contrary to what some people may think, that the President did not attend. The President did call me less than 24 hours to let me know the reason why he couldn't make it. And of course, he had his ticket to leave on the Friday morning, and asked if I was going to. And unfortunately, I had just come out, I had just returned from a funeral too of my own my family member. And I said, Mr. President, I just came back from a funeral. There's no way I'm able to make it to this. Because the funeral was on the same day of my I lost a cousin just around the same time, the same day that my Emma's funeral was taking place, and the next week was the VP, and so I couldn't make it. You can, for those of us who know diaspora, you can't just take off work so easily. My patients, thank you for being at both. We really appreciate you for standing there to represent us. Oh my goodness, Chief of Staff. I mean, I don't want to call your name here, but Chief of Staff, Doctor, I thank you for taking thousands of miles to be there as the Chief of Staff to represented the President fully well and the people of Amazonia, because it was representing the government. It was not just President Sako. President Sako is the head of the government. So was VP Ateh, part of the cabinet of President Sako, but it was representing the people of Amazonia. The one thing, I thank God that the Akum people, and it looks like also the Banso people were able to put a dance there. Let's put it this way. When we get back home, as we celebrate Boya, there will be a national mourning time. We will cry all this cry, dance all this dance, and then we will celebrate the victory of the freedom. Nice. So just let's keep it and know that it will happen.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ma Winnie, for being on this program today. I know you just already expressed gratitude to the Chief of Staff for flying all the way from Europe to come to give final farewell to the Vice President. I also want to applaud and appreciate one lady we call Mamu. Mamu came both to Los Angeles for my Emma's burial, and she also went to the Vice President. I think she's the one person that came, and she is not an official. At least I'm an official. I'm a government representative, and I made it to both of them. But she's not an official, and she was present to both of them. I really, really appreciate her from the bottom of my heart. As we end this program, we know that we're going to continue, because when giants pass away, they are based on what they've done and the legacy they left behind. They leave us a path to follow, to continue. And we're going to talk about that the next time we meet with my Winnie. But I really want us to see that video. So I'm going to conclude the program and say thank you all for being on the horizon, the voice of the Amber Woman. And that video is going to play. And when the video ends, the program will end at that time. So I'm hoping that the video is ready now, because it's really the Vice President's hometown. He's from Akum, and these were his people celebrating him in grand style.
are watching The Horizon, the voice of the Amber Woman, exclusively on ABC Amba TV.